Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Haas, and today we're going to be talking about the crypto market cap and why it isn't a bad thing to take profits when you should be taking profits. Now, I'm not making this video to say that we should be taking profits now. Absolutely not. We are still in the starting phases of the bull market. We're still revving the engine, getting ready for that parabolic rise. We're not quite there yet, but we are getting to a point where we should be paying attention to some key signs. So let's look into it. I first want to bring up this Wall Street cheat sheet of market cycles, how market cycles work. So just as a quick run over, it starts off with our disbelief coming out of our bear market and going into a bull market and seeing it go up. Then we get our hope phase. We see everything pumped. We have our optimism. This rally is real. We're really doing this. Then our belief, we've fully invested everything. We've mortgaged our houses and we've taken loans to buy crypto. Don't do that, please. Please. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not do that. Then we have a thrill. We're taking more risks. Then we have a euphoria. We're Warren Buffett. We're going to have interviews everywhere. And then it starts to take a downturn. We have our complacency. The market just needed to cool off. It was a big pump. Then we have our anxiety and everything's getting a little bit more scary. We're getting some margin calls. Then we have our denial. We're invested in great cryptocurrencies. We have ADA, we have Polkadot, and they can't dip. Then we have our panic. And this is where we see everyone else selling, but we're going to try to hold on to our bags. And then we have our final capitulation before we go into the bear market. I'm not saying that we're going to represent exactly this, but when you look at history, history is not on your side if you're one of those people that are saying that it's only ever going to go up, because the reality is that's not the reality. We don't have enough infrastructure and we don't have enough utility to support any of those theories that crypto is not going to crash again. And even if there was $100 trillion in the crypto market cap, I still think we would see dips, just not nearly as dramatic as what we see them now, because our crypto market cap is only 1.8 trillion. It's very, very small when you look into comparison of the stock market being 100 trillion, gold being 11 trillion. The list goes on and on. $1.8 trillion is a very, very, very small amount of money. So if we look back at 2017, and this is really want to hit home for you guys in terms of the crypto market cap. Now, I believe in terms of where we are right now, if you look at our market currently, I believe we're roughly in this range in terms of 2017, if you were to correlate them both. So I still think we have at least 5x to go from here. It's going to be parabolic. It's going to be scary. And the reason why I say scary is because we're going to see huge percentage moves in just a couple of days. To put this in perspective, I just want to measure out one of these wicks to show you. Now, again, these are day charts. With one wick, we wicked up 20% in one day. We moved 20% in one day. And that wasn't just the one day, because it kept going. Almost 10%, maybe 5% here, another 20%, right? And it keeps jetting up that amount. But right now we're in these little motions, these little wicks, right? So we're not quite at this parabolic rise. Now, when we get to this rise and when wicks are going up that much in a day, that's when you should be a little bit more cautious of how much you're keeping on the table. So to give you the same representation now, here is this same chart, and we're not moving in the same dramatic moves. You see our wick here, even from the wick, it's roughly 8%. Roughly 8%, probably a little bit less. So it's definitely more in line with the smaller wicks that we saw. So we're not at the parabolic levels yet. So there's no reason to be concerned. I'm not taking profits now. If you are, that's fine. But if you are, hopefully you just got in at this point. But either way, you probably have some altcoins that pumped really hard. So if you want to take profits, by all means, you should, because you want to live to fight another day. But right now, if I was taking any profits out of any projects, I would probably just be rolling it into other projects that haven't pumped yet, because the bull market is still going. We're still in it, and we still have a long time to go. But my whole point is to make sure that you understand that market cycles are dictated by human emotion strictly. And regardless of what you believe that the crypto market can hold and stay at a parabolic level, I think you would be extremely misguided to believe that and be in a position where you're buying at those peaks and then contemplating your life once everything is dropped. Now, I'm not an advocate to sell your whole bags. Of course, I wasn't in the 2017 bull run. I was there as a spectator, kind of, barely, watching it on the news and everything. But in terms of taking profits, I probably wouldn't sell my entire bags. But what I will do is sell little percentages as everything goes up. And increasing the percentages that I sell as the parabolic rises go. So if I see the needle jumping 20% in one day, you best be sure that on that day, I'm probably going to take a little bit of profit. And I'm going to do that periodically, systematically, and make sure that I'm cashing out as much of the peaks as I can, and even having a little left over at the top peak and selling a little bit going on to the downturn. And then at a certain point, I'm going to decide to hold on to my bags and let the rest ride out. But I do want to make sure that I have a good amount of profit coming out of this. Now, in terms of cashing out, if you look at the DXY, this is the dollar index chart. I can't talk too much about my thoughts on the dollar, but I do know that ultimately we understand that the dollar is going to lose value in the next little while. So it's not the safest place to hold a lot of your money. Now, you could be going and putting it in Celsius or BlockFi for an over 10% interest rate on USDC or USDT. And that is fine because you're beating inflation and you're probably getting way more than like mutual funds or whatever else other investment vehicles that you could get with maybe a 9% return. But it's objectively not the best thing to put your money into. Now, I'd probably say when you're looking at cashing out specifically, you'd want to make the cashing out systematic. So traditionally, we've seen Bitcoin dip way before altcoins dip. So altcoins will pump after Bitcoin is already on its downturn. And that's a sign that we're heading into that decline. But it could be a prime opportunity to take profits from altcoins and move it into Bitcoin. One cash out vehicle that I'm going to be working with is Pax Gold, and just buying Pax Gold directly and using that and gaining interest on BlockFi and Celsius. I have some referral codes down in the comments down below for you. So check those out if you're interested in gaining interest on either Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, USDT. Celsius has a more wider range of altcoins. So if you have altcoins that you aren't earning interest in, I would highly recommend you go and download Celsius and get that app. But also, I don't keep all my eggs in one basket. I like to spread a lot of my crypto around multiple different products. So I hold tons of different wallets that gain interest. I stake Polkadot on Kraken. I have my ADA on my Daedalus wallet. So it just goes into a wide array of holding. And the reason why I do this is primarily if I get hacked in one way, at the end of the day, I still have a good portion of crypto spread amongst a bunch of different platforms that if I lose some, it's okay. I still have some to live another day. Now, obviously, you got to be very careful about your security, not fall for any scams or anything, and you should be okay. But the reality is there that we're all human and we can make mistakes. And I just want to make sure that if I do make a mistake, which I might, if I do make a mistake, that I'm not going to lose everything. That's the whole goal here. So next, I want to talk about the crypto market cap, what's going on today, how the markets are looking. Obviously, Bitcoin is still fluttering around the $58,000 mark, so not the $59,000 mark, but that doesn't matter because Ethereum is still pumping past the $2,000 mark. So we're currently sitting at around a 2075 Ethereum, which is a pretty good Ethereum at this point. Binance Coin has definitely rebounded a good amount, hitting back up to the $350 mark. And we have Polkadot making incredible strides over the last couple of days after we put out that video, going up to, I believe it hit 45, somewhere around that area, but now it's at 43.5, which is a very, very good Polkadot. I think this is a very good price for Polkadot. I don't think I would be buying at this level, but it's hard for me to justify buying Polkadot right now just because of where I was buying Polkadot before. Cardano's still holding strong at around the $1.20 mark, which it is what it is. I think Cardano specifically is going to be going for another parabolic run at some point, but I just don't know when. I think we can fully expect it, especially as Alonso is right around the corner. But I think what some people don't recognize about Cardano is a lot of times the Cardano price chart doesn't move nearly as much as others. But when it does move, it's way more sustained so it can hold those high levels. So that's why I am so bullish on Cardano, because I feel it's a much safer risk than most other cryptocurrencies that you could be investing in. Uniswap is another token that you want to keep your eyes on with the Uniswap version 3 upgrade coming out. So that could dramatically help out the Uniswap platform. And then we also have the Ethereum update reducing ETH fees. So I most likely would say that this price is being built into ETH right now, judging by the price. But that being said, I still think ETH can easily hit $5,000 this bull market. So I do think that there's still plenty of room for ETH to go. Theta is just going over an extended cooldown period. This is to be expected. So anyone that's freaking out about this, I don't know what to tell you, because Theta just a couple of weeks ago felt it was at like $1.50 and now here it is. Okay, so chill out. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. VeChain is another one of those projects that have been slowly creeping up. I've been slowly checking my VeChain holdings and it's slowly creeping up, but I still think VeChain is still in need for a good long pump. I still think VeChain is one of those tokens that can at least hit 50 cents, maybe even more. I still believe in $1 VeChain by the end of the bull market. I don't know how realistic that is, but it is a 10x from here. So I think we could still see it. And then we have KSM. So we've talked about KSM before. One of my favorite tokens easily. And the reason why I want to click on this and look at this is because somebody had mentioned about the downturn after I made my Polkadot video. So I made my Polkadot video at around this point when it was at $550 or $530, somewhere around this point before it was going down its dramatic downturn. And I did say that we would not see for the short term a KSM below $400. Now, why did I say that? I said that because of this dip here. We dipped below 373, but we never saw again a retracement back to that level. And that's pretty indicative in terms of the KSM chart. Now, the reason why I say this with KSM is because it holds a significant amount of value even in the downturn. So it typically doesn't go back to prior levels of support. And this could be a number of different reasons. The smaller market cap has a lot to play in it. The quality of the project has a lot to play in it. But I do think KSM is going to be one of those tokens that really you would be risking it not to hold at least some. Now, I hold KSM just like I hold Polkadot, have them both being staked on Kraken. I get 12% APY. I highly suggest if you are picking up KSM, now would probably be the time. And the reason why I say that is because I still do believe we are not going to see a level below $400. And even once we see the crypto market retrace, I think around where we are right now is where we'll see the retracements. Bitcoin can probably go down to maybe 40,000, maybe even down into the $38,000 mark. But the crypto market is going to be roughly around the 1.8 to $2 trillion mark after a crash. So that's where I would expect it, looking at previous crypto market caps and how much it crashed. I think this is probably a good enough range. So I would suspect that buying KSM right now is probably a decent buy. I've at least been rolling a little bit of profits into KSM, the odd profits that I take on some altcoins that just shot up to the moon. So a lot of those profits I just rolled into KSM, and then they've slowly been growing with KSM gaining 12% interest, and KSM has just been a truck. So I'm not concerned at all by this downturn here. If you are concerned about these short-term price action dips, I don't know what to tell you. I get questions about them all the time. You know, why is Cardano going down or why is KSM going down? It doesn't matter, because in the long term, and I'm a trend guy, in the long term, it doesn't matter, right? Over the course of weeks and months, doesn't matter. A couple of days of a downturn is really nothing to me. I hope this video kind of helped understand at least my thinking of how much longer we have in this bull market, where it's going to go, and how to prepare yourself to take profits. Now, some people might ask in the comments below, how do I know that the crypto market is going to crash? The reality is I have no idea. Nobody does. That is the thing. Nobody knows, but what we can do is look at trends from history and make a good estimated guess of where it's going to go. And that's all I'm basing this off of. By all means, if I'm wrong, and I would love to be wrong because I'm still going to hold a healthy chunk of my bags, I would love to be wrong. But if I am wrong, I'm still going to have crypto to ride to the moon. At the end of the day, the crypto market is going to the moon. Some people have the idea that we are going interstellar, and I understand that idea. I like that idea. Trust me, I want to be rich. I want to have just as much money as you are dreaming about right now. But the reality is we need to prepare for what most likely will happen because of the historic data that we currently have. Not to say that you should be prepared for both scenarios, but I'm just saying taking a little bit off the table to better your position financially, start a business, pay off your house, do whatever you need to do. Taking a little bit off the table is not a bad thing. It's always going to be better for you in the long term to just live to fight another day. And again, you can hold on to a good chunk of your bags if that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you. The market is complete human emotion. Nobody knows what the hell to expect. And, it is what it is. That's it for me, everybody. Hopefully everyone's enjoying your Easter weekend. Go ahead and give me a like if you enjoyed the video, if this helped you in any way. Subscribe to the channel as well. I put out a lot of crypto videos like this discussing both the market trends and individual altcoins. But again, I hope that you found this video helpful, and happy hodling.